Hey guys, this is a live show here looking at the Wrestlemania 37 betting odds. Before we start, let me run through the ad reads here because we are simulcasting on the Dirty Sheets and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network as well. The Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. Get started today and you'll get a risk-free bet up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. Get the details at wynnbet.com and download the app today. Also brought to you by OddsCrowd. OddsCrowd has a ton of free fantasy betting contests, including a 2K season-long MLB contest and a $500 weekly contest. Download the app today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/odds. We're also brought to you by Better Than Vegas. Better Than Vegas is the home for free daily picks from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's like YouTube for sports betting. Make sure to subscribe to our profile at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/BTV. And finally, we're also brought to you by Pickswise. Pickswise has free picks for every day of sport. Check out all their expert plays and betting picks at pickswise.com. That's pickswise.com. I'm joined by my co-host of the Dirty Sheets, Cav Manning.
Hey now.
And our special guest to run through these betting lines. He's the ex-writer of WWE at its peak, the Attitude Era, Rock, Austin, Kane, Undertaker, Mankind. He also then went over to WCW and worked with the likes of Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Roddy Piper, NWO, Bret the Hitman Hart, and actually worked with Bret Hart in the WWE as well. It is none other than Vince Russo.
What is going on, Mr. Bate?
So you can give us some maybe inside info as to how these betting lines would go. In fact, you already told me off the air something that you'd been predicting, a big underdog maybe winning this weekend. So yeah, we will.
You know what I didn't like? I'll tell you what I didn't like. I'll tell you what, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm going to say it right now. The way they were pushing Lashley, the way they were building Lashley, I was like, no way, no how are they going to take the belt off of Lashley? They're going to have Drew push Lashley. I mean, chase Lashley, and that's going to happen. But I'll tell you what I did not like. I didn't like Drew cutting that very emotional promo about his mother with the chemo and the cancer and all that stuff, which was very emotional and tugged in my heartstrings. And then you're not going to put the guy over? I didn't think he was going to go over. I think they're going to milk this for a while, and I think that's what they should do. But I don't think Drew should have. God, I wish he wouldn't have cut that promo, knowing he's not going to go over.
In case you're wondering, watching on YouTube, my son here, Austin, is sitting next to me. So he's sitting next to me because last year during the pandemic, we were supposed to go to WrestleMania and we weren't able to go. So I was sitting there. I gave him £50 to bet with to make WrestleMania a little bit more watchable because it was in the Performance Center with no fans, and it seemed like it was going to be boring without any action, even for a 9-year-old. And he has turned that £500 into £450, into £500, into £475 over the course of the last 12 months. So that's why I'm going to have him sit in, because he has a track record better than most of the.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible, Austin! You're genius.
There was a pay-per-view where him and nobody betted stuff that I won. No one won it, but I did.
There was a pay-per-view where you got every one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't think I've ever got every one on a pay-per-view.
That's incredible.
All right, so we'll start running through these lines quickly because I want to leave a little bit of time. I want to leave 5 minutes to get Vince's insight into baseball, which I think he's actually more interested in discussing nowadays. So let's talk about the WWE title match. We already touched on it. Drew McIntyre versus Lashley. Now, these odds were closer, and now Drew is a stronger favorite, which usually indicates that he's winning because people are putting money down on him. He's now 1-2, minus 200 US odds, and Lashley 6-4, which is plus 150 US odds.
Yeah, they've pushed Lashley too hard, bro. There's no way. Listen, I know at this point they're incompetent. I understand that. But if you've pushed Lashley this hard, and Lashley has he's gotten it over, bro. He's hitting it out of the park. You cannot take that title off of him right now. I don't care, bro.
Yeah.
Cav.
I was scared to death because originally I say, okay, when someone has a title that close, he just won it a month ago. And you're like, they've pushed him and they have the opening and the entrance for him that is larger than life. And then they do this whole thing with Drew where I'm like, is this just to take the belt off of him and crown him at Mania? I would be bothered if they do this and have Drew win, because I'm like, you have something so hot. Lashley's a monster. But then the way they're doing it on TV does make you think that, well, Drew conquers the bad guy and does this. But as we also know, WrestleMania has now become, there is always a match in there to surprise everybody. It's almost like when they have somebody come back. So I'm hoping that's the one that everyone always thinks that McIntyre's going to win, and I hope he doesn't.
But what do you think that's going to feel like with the opener? Like if the heel goes over in the opener, do you really think like he's a heel that would deflate people? I don't think that it will be very deflating. I think they actually like Lashley.
I think that crowd is hyped up.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's one of those. It's like, I don't know if anything could deflate that crowd, especially to start. And this is the first of everything. They're going to be hot as hell that first night.
Yeah.
Austin?
They're turning Lashley into a monster. If he loses, there's just no point in bringing him as WWE champion. There was no point. If he loses, there was no point in the first place in giving him the championship.
Okay.
They should have just given like Miz lose to Drew, and then beat Lashley.
But you don't think like it's because Lashley's a better opponent to have at WrestleMania?
Yeah, he's a lot better opponent. He's like another Brock Lesnar.
But do you think now they've done it, he can't lose?
Yeah, he can't lose.
Okay, so that's three for Lashley. I'm still going to take McIntyre simply just because I don't know where Drew goes from here if he loses. I mean, they can put him on the chase, but I mean, he's the challenger going in. So what's he chasing then after he loses his challenger? The Universal title match. So Edge is the favorite here at 11-10, which is close to the 50-50 evens. Roman 13-8, and Daniel Bryan is now the outsider at 3-1. I'll start with Vince again.
I'm taking Roman, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, bro, I don't know how they book anymore. It's not traditional booking anymore. But Roman has been the hottest heel you have. Edge. Bro, Edge, with his health and his history could go down at any minute. He's a lot older. How much gas is left in the tank? If I'm booking, bro, I'm going with Roman, and I'm staying with Roman.
Even though I'm wearing my Roman shirt, marking out today, actually wearing a wrestling shirt. I want Roman to win this. I was betting on Roman to win this until me and Billy did our wrestling show, and Billy scared me, and he goes, it's very possible. Don't you think, Bryan could win to, end WrestleMania with the good guy on top? That scares me. And it does make sense. And it's another, rah-rah, feel good. He got his way in there and did this. And this is like at the end of his career and everything. I got to go with Roman, though. It's like Vince, he's too great. He's like the best thing on the all WWE right now going on. And it's the one time that people, I guess they hate him, but in the right way now. But it's not the go away he doesn't have now. It's the I want to see him now. Now he's entertaining and interesting.
Austin.
Probably Edge, because he's going like absolutely crazy. He's just destroying everyone, and he's looking so good to win the championship.
Yeah, I actually agree with him because I don't know where Edge goes from here. Like, he's gone all the way through to win the Rumble.
From number one.
He's turned heel. I don't trust this company at all. Roman is the best thing that they have, and I feel that they feel like they need to quickly turn him into a face. I don't know why. I feel like Edge has turned very, very quickly because they need to fill that void that will be a void if Roman ends up turning face or goes somewhere else. It just seems difficult for me to see where Edge goes. I can see loads of places where Roman goes, even winning the belt back in a rematch or whatever. I just don't know where Edge goes from there if he loses. I mean, he could feasibly go back to Raw and then chase the other title as a heel as well. But yeah, for me, Edge just seems like a bit of a pointless journey for Edge if he loses.
Drew could go to SmackDown and Roman would go to Raw.
Yeah, they could do lots of stuff, but I mean, I think I'm looking for results really that are like as holding pattern as possible until we get to SummerSlam. Like I can even see a situation where there's a lot of rematches from these matches. Sasha, Bianca, Drew, Lashley, Fiend, and Orton. Remember, I reported that Orton Fiend wasn't going to be a cinematic match where everybody had it as completely cinematic. So if they're not doing the cinematic at Mania, that's gonna carry on. So yeah, I'm looking for ways for lots of stuff here to carry on or go into like rematches essentially. But I think night one could be a happy night where you open up with Drew and Lashley and you close out with the girls main eventing. And then like, I even think Sasha and Bianca might hug at the end of the match and then Sasha will end up turning afterwards. I think you're going to give people the happy night on night one and then get back to business on night two. We'll talk about our match next because Bianca's a big favorite, 1-4. You have to lay 400 on her to win 100 and Sasha is 3-1. I'll go to Vince first.
Yeah, I think Bianca, on that. Yeah, again, bro, they're very unpredictable the way they're doing things these days. But, smart booking tells you that Bianca will be going over in this match. They've pushed her. Maybe Sasha's run her course a little bit. I think it is time for Bianca Belair.
I'm actually going to go the other way. This was the one thing me and Billy were way different on, where he thought they would do a babyface ending with the hugging and everything. I think Sasha is pretty much a bad guy now, as is. I mean, she's sneaking up, she's running away, she's doing the sneak attack stuff. I think she pulls out a win still here, and if she doesn't, I don't see that hug happening. I see her killing her at the end of the night because it's kind of almost a cliffhanger into the next night, though. So it's not like this is WrestleMania. It's over with. It's done. It's the first night over with, so you can kind of leave it on a note like that, I would think. But I would think that Sasha's going to win it because I think it's almost too obvious that Bianca would be, overcome.
I think they're throwing out too many stats for that to happen. Like, I knew this was going to be the main event. This is the first ladies singles match to main event. It's the first main event with two black people in it. The winner of the main event is guaranteed to be the first black person to win a main event. They're throwing all this stuff out. Sasha Banks is the first person to be in a main event who was born in the 90s. Like, these statistics and research that someone's pointlessly done from WWE side doesn't get out there unless you're planning to use it as a marketing resource for somebody. Like, I mean, my sources know that these are taglines and things that they've pulled out. And I don't think they pull them out for no reason. It's pointless if you're going to do that. So I think with all of that, I just see this being very clean and happy and then getting back down to the story for the rematches. Austin?
Pretty much the exact same thing Vince said. Like, everything he said.
Don't humor him. Don't humor him, Austin. Don't do it.
All right, so the other women's titles match on Raw taking place on Sunday is Rhea Ripley and Asuka. Exactly the same odds. Rhea Ripley 1-4, Asuka 3-1. So the bookies have both these women's belts changing. Vince, is there any reason to disagree?
No, absolutely. Listen, last time Rhea Ripley was in at WrestleMania, I believe she did the job to Charlotte. They can't do that to her again. She's going to go over Asuka.
See, now Vince scares me because right off the bat, I was picking Asuka on the wrestling show that me and Billy do. And because I was like, well, Rhea keeps beating the shit out of Asuka. Asuka's never gotten over on her yet, and she keeps getting put down. So I'm like, okay, now she gets her comeuppance and wins this match. That's where I'm going with. And I'm like, Ripley walks in and wins the belt. I don't like that. I always say, give it a little time. But, I mean, she's been there. Obviously, it's the same company she's always been in. But I will go with Asuka.
I'll go to him next before anybody says what he wants to say because he's done research today and he's got stuff written down. So
Austin reports stuff.
Yeah, so we can read what you wrote.
I think Rhea Ripley will win because she's looking really good going into this match, and Asuka's beaten everyone on Raw.
Yeah, so there's no opponents left.
For Asuka to beat.
Yeah, so he just thinks they need to freshen up. Yeah, I agree. I can't see any reason Ripley doesn't win. I'm surprised that I said that on our show on the brand that I said that Rhea Ripley was turning heel. I didn't expect her to be turning heel before the show. They just don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
You have to save these things for the actual shows that matter, or at least tease it for a while. They just seem to do everything at the wrong time so that it has the least dramatic effect possible when you're trying to enhance it as much as you can. I don't want to talk too negatively about it because we're trying to get people to watch this show, and I'm sure there will be like some positives and some good points here on the show, especially that triple threat main event, which he's really looking forward to. But yeah, I mean, some of this mid-card stuff is done really poorly. We'll move on to The Fiend and Randy Orton because it's very simple here. I think we'll get the same pick across the board. Fiend is 1-10 and Randy Orton is 5-1.
Yeah, you can't bring the guy back after burning him to death and beat him. So 100% Fiend going over.
Yeah, I'm on the same thing. Fiend has to go over. And Vince, I've been saying like to Billy, how horrible is this for Bray that he has to wear like this outfit with the glove thing has got to be the worst because it's like fake hands. So he's got this thick, fake burned hand. I'm like, this has got to be the most uncomfortable, worst thing. You're wearing a monster movie outfit in a regular match for everybody. They got to get away from that quickly, and I don't know how the hell they do it.
Bro, you got the guys here. So what do you want to do? Just stop for a second or what? Billy, what do we do?
Yeah, you can. Well, I'm okay.
What do you want to do? You want me to tap out and then I'll come back for the Sean thing?
Yeah, go on. How long will you be?
I don't know. It depends if he's got to go outside or inside. My wife's not home. That's the problem. I'm the only one here.
Okay, yeah. We can just put it on like hold.
This?
Yeah.
I put. I'll email you as soon as I'm done, bro.
Okay, cool. All right.
I don't think it'll be that long. I really don't.
Okay, all right. No worries.
Should I shut this room or keep it open?
I did the room, so.
Okay, I'll keep it open. It shouldn't be that long, bro.
Yeah, all right. I'll just end the broadcast and we'll just do a part 2.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna do 2 parts to this video, which is on our channel. I didn't ask you if you recorded anyway, Cav.
Oh yeah, I am.
All right, so what do? Just put an edit in here. As long as we got it. As long as we got it for Sports Gambling Podcast, that's fine.
Yeah. Like right afterwards, you want me to cut it and just mail it to you then, or what?
All right, hold on, guys. Guys on Locker Room, I'm just ending the room quickly, and we're coming back for the second part because Vince has to go and do something. Okay. Let me end the broadcast on
Sure.
YouTube.